Sup, Nerdmigos? I'm the Jive Talking Nerd, John Norgrove. We've got Wife here. We're back at it again for another Trek Jive, which is awesome. We are reviewing Star Trek Picard Season 3, Episode 8, Surrender. Honestly, kind of an okay name, but not a great name, because a lot of resisting surrender is what was happening.
Yeah, it was definitely not a complete surrender in any way.
Semi-surrender, semi-render, if you will. As the cool
faux
kids say.
Render.
A faux render.
That doesn't
a
make
friender?
sense. No. Now we're just getting in the weeds.
That's when Bender and you are homies, a friender. Only Fry knows about that. So anywho, before we get into the review, don't forget to like this video, comment below, share, subscribe, ring the bell, and do all that kind of crap. And we will catch you guys next time. Goodbye forever. No, that's not what's happening yet.
Oh, you got the intro right, but you had the...
I had to put the outro immediately after. Listen, we're going to put that outro at the end there, and then we're going to put the end part at the beginning part. It's all going to work out.
We're not going to
I'm not going to do any editing at all. What are you talking about? I just put our faces up there. So yeah, this was an episode. Man, let me tell you. Okay, so episode 7, Dominion, ended with, like, a bold strategy, Cotton. And this is the episode where we see if it panned out. And suffice it to say, space were declared, so it did not, in fact, pan out.
Well, it did pan out, just not for everyone.
I mean, not for the people who were doing the shenan, because, so the last episode ended. We pick up with our intrepid crew, as Mad took over and held at gunpoint and, being threatened to get blasted and such. And Vadic is like, I know your secrets, Jack. Hooty hoo. And also, all of last episode, no Riker, no Troy, so maybe Gloop Troy, right? Troy.
Yeah.
As everybody's... okay, so they're changelings, so everybody's going with the ch sound, right? So they're calling him Chuvok. But Gluvok or Gloopvok, more sense.
Yeah.
Because they're gloopy and don't put respect on their names. But... so Vadic took over the Titan and, like... Everybody on the bridge is held captive, and Geordi and his daughter are trapped with Data in the computer core room or whatever that was. But Data's also kind of lore and also kind of an inert person just standing there. And then Jack, Geordi's other daughter, the one who's a pilot, Picard, Crusher. Yeah, Picard and Crusher. So they're just those four are trapped, I don't know, whatever, somewhere else. Medical? I feel like medical makes the most amount of sense, but honestly, I didn't recognize the room. Mm-hmm. So they're trapped. That's where this episode picks up. And basically, we get Vadic being like, lock everything down on the computer. Ain't nobody breaking through these passcodes or whatever the heck, right? 12 digits long. She's using numbers. She's using capital letters. She's using, like, percent signs and special characters and shit like that. You know how you're supposed to do passwords, not capital P ass word, like what everybody else is doing.
Yeah.
And so capital P ass word, man. Best password. But, so she got everything locked down, and she's basically like hits the thing on the captain's chair, right? And is like, hey, listen, I just want Jack. It's real simple. You're gonna give me Jack in 10 minutes. I'm just gonna blast one of these people. There's like, I don't know, 12 people up here. I'm just gonna blast like one every 10 minutes. Get your shit together, guys.
Immediately, I was like, it's going to be the bald, like, Vulcan or Romulan chick.
Yeah,
because there's already another Vulcan or Romulan on there.
Yeah.
And we've seen this chick enough for her to be like, oh, hey, it's that one.
Yeah. For emotional weight,
but like, she doesn't have a name
yeah.
as far as, I mean, she does technically have a name, but like, she does not have a name.
She's not like the green-haired chick or the tactical officer guy.
Yeah.
Right? Who, like, the green-haired chick or the tactical officer guy, like, slightly higher in the order of, like, bridge crew people that we recognize.
Yeah.
And also, if you know what her name is, A, comment below, and B, if you know if she was Vulcan or Romulan. You kept calling her Vulcan, and maybe she's Vulcan, but I'm just getting, like, strong Romulan vibes, and I know that they're, like, basically the same people, but they're also not basically the same people, and that's just racist. But, she's just, I don't know, she's not... she's not bringing the same level of stoic that you would expect exemplified in a Vulcan character. Not that she's not being stoic.
I mean, we have seen her on screen exactly like 3 times.
I know.
And each time,
but listen,
she has been the exact same level of stoic.
I understand that, but generally in Star Trek, let me tell you. Let's take these curtains. Let's open them up. Let's look behind them a little bit. Generally in Star Trek, if you are gonna spend the energy to put a Vulcan on set, you are gonna go out of your way for that Vulcan to do some Vulcan shit.
I mean,
you know what I'm
she's been
saying?
Pretty stoic on all of the situations.
I think that there's something Romulan about it. Comment below. What do you think? Vulcan or Romulan? What's your vote? Because I think she's Romulan. Julie thinks she's Vulcan, and honestly, it's fine either which direction.
I definitely don't care.
She's Adams now.
Yeah, I definitely don't care. I was just like, that is clearly.
I mean, it's sad that she's gone because like that would have been cool. I like having like, I mean, I guess we've got the green chick is an alien, and the tactical officer's Bajoran. So like that's alien, but like you know, it's nice to have like a Vulcan aboard, for a shenan or whatever. But
or a Romulan,
or a Romulan, who knows at this point? Yeah. So like immediately Julie's like, that one's gone. Choose her, right? She get chose. And then of course, so like all of the shenanigans are going on, and like whatever. Let me tell you, it took too long for Jack to be like, hey, mom, dad, I don't wanna like sour the vibe in this takeover murder party that's happening on the ship right now, but I currently have mind powers for the taking, because he does, and he basically doesn't tell them until the end, and even when he's telling them, he does a real poor job. You know, he says that he's quick-witted, sharp tongue, hiding his trauma behind his smart aleck attitude, or however he says that like mad hateful shit that he says. But like he's just like, I think I have a way to save the ship, and they're like, what, man? And he's like, I can like get up there and like do stuff, and they're like, no, that's not enough words still. He's like, I got this. Something's happening to me. Changes are occurring. And like, I feel like Beverly should have just been like, proper nouns. Motherfucker, what are you talking about?
I know. He could have been talking about puberty.
Yeah, he could have just been talking about weird old guy puberty. Like, who knows? Man, it was
delayed puberty.
Sad delayed puberty. It was just so
like,
weird,
Mom,
the way that he wasn't saying anything.
My body feels funny.
Yeah. Why is my voice changing so much? Or whatever. But like, so finally, inevitably, the day is saved by the pilot being like, I felt him inside of me, it happened, or whatever vaguely inappropriate way she said that. She said it, and we were both just like, those are both his parents, girl. You need to check your problem.
Yeah. She said it in such a way where I was like, are we gonna get a like a birds and the bees kind of comment from them?
When two ensigns love each other very much on a starship, they go to the holodeck and ... Yeah, right? Hey, we've all seen the Ponfar Voyager episodes. We know what's going on there.
We know.
Or the weirder Klingon episodes.
Or Lower Decks, where they talk directly about it.
Yeah, the Lower Decks orgy sequence that lives rent-free in all of our heads. But
hey, they even talked about it in the Orville.
That's true. It's so true. But so whatever, he's just like, I got mind powers and I can take people's minds, and they're like, okay. And so he like takes the Bajoran tactical officer's mind to like not like no look enter some commands, but of course that shit gets caught because
which was fire. This guy was over there one hand typing, not looking. Like that was,
you don't even have the little
wild.
They don't even have the little bump for the 5 number on the screen, so like you don't know what you're typing at. He could be like one character to the left just entered somebody else's definitely not appropriate code into there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so he's like getting it, and Vadic's just like, I am fucking right here. I can see that. Don't touch that. And then of course
and by then it's too late.
And by then it's too late. And she looks into the guy's eyes, into Jack, into the Bajoran guy's eyes that were mind took by Jack. And she's like, "What's up, Jack? I know about this shit. I got you, baby. Bring somebody up. I'm gonna blast somebody." And he like escapes, and he's like, "She knew." And again, like Picard and Beverly are like, "Cool, man." They're bringing a lot of like real, like, let the kid do whatever they want parent vibes. It's not safe. Your kid is going through some shit. Talk to him. That's fine. The day is saved by the actual ship counselor saving the day for him. Maybe we'll see what happens. But so then Vatic just sort of monologues like bad guys do for most of the episode. She is monologuing, and then blasts that Vulcan / Romulan officer. Even though she had the Bajoran guy and the green-haired guy, like, she's like, "Get down on your knees, I'm gonna blast you guys." And they're both like, "Oh, I don't know about this." And then I guess we find out that the Bajoran officer has a kid. Mm-hmm. So, Star Trek Legacy, what's going on, guys? Give us more. Looking at you, Terry Metalis. But, so she's just like, "What are we gonna do?" And then she like immediately blasts the chick, the Vulcan Romulan chick, and you're like, "Oh shit!" And they're like, "Oh, what are we gonna do?" And then the like B plot on the Titan is that Data and Lore are beefing it out in the brain box of the Data Lore robot unit thing, and Geordi and his daughter are like trying to figure it out. They get him disconnected, and then like basically Jack's like, "I got a plan," and so he leaves, and so everybody else in his club goes downstairs or whatever to see Data Lore and Geordi, and they show up, and Geordi is like, "How do we know this?" Like, Geordi and Picard are both just like, "How do we know that this is you?" And Geordi's like, "What did you give me for my 12th wedding anniversary at that party?" And Picard is like, "I gave you a Chateau Picard from 73, and you said it was a little dry because you have a plebeian taste in wine."
No, he said your taste in wine is pedestrian at best.
Yeah,
or your palate is
or something like that. Yeah,
best.
which is like the sickest burn. Oh my god, burn. So good. So, and of course, Geordi's just like, "Well, I mean, that's Picard. That was a dick move, bro. I'm a little hurt." And so they decide to plug Data Lore back into the computer and then take out the barrier, and then one of them is gonna die. And like throughout the episode, we get this like kind of liminal space mind battle between Data Lore. That's primarily Data just like reminiscing about cool shit and handing it over. Also, he said his cat was a boy, but his cat has kittens. So I don't know what that's about. Maybe a different cat? Maybe he had a boy cat before he had the girl cat, and I'm just like misremembering that.
They probably just used
or maybe Data always calls his cat a boy.
The wrong,
yeah. But his cat has kittens anyway. Because his cat has kittens. The reason why we know that his cat has kittens is because his cat single-handedly saved the Enterprise when disease mutated due to Reginald Barclay being a monster, and backwards evolved everybody, and Worf became a monster, and Diana Troy became a salamander, and Riker became a Neanderthal. And Reginald Barclay became a spider, which is weird because he's also human. So what the fuck does that mean? But yeah, whatever, because she had kittens and they get back, and Geordi's like, or Data's like, the only thing that could save the day is that these kittens were protected by embryo science. So let's do whatever the fuck that is, and then the day is saved. So good job, that cat. Spot, I think, name of cat. Yes. Best cat. So, so we get that, and he's like handing a bunch of stuff over, like C-plot style. And Jack shows up on the bridge. Like, they're like she's like, "I'm gonna blast somebody else. I'm tired of waiting. I'm impatient." And Jack shows up on the bridge with a grenade, and it's just like, "Do it! Come on! I'm gonna pull the pin or twist the knob or whatever the hell was that.
Maybe.
Press the button, whatever the hell that was." And they're like, "Oh, hey, yeah." Like, she's like, I like that Vadic's just like, "What do you think that grenade's gonna do to me? I'm made out of glue, bro." But then is still backing up, and you're like, I mean, clearly something, because you seem concerned about the grenade. Like, yeah. Rock and roll, girl. Gloop, whatever. But, so So Jack's like, everybody go into the back room with the blast doors because I'm going to blow everything up or whatever. And Seven's like, I'm not going to follow orders. Also, she stands up to Shaw in a fantastic way. When Shaw's just like, Commander Jensen. What the heck is her last name?
Sure.
Annika Hansen. Commander Hansen. He's like, Commander Hansen. And she's like, my name is 7 of 9. Boom. And I was just like, yes, the best. Because Annika Hansen is just a dreadful name. 7 of 9, way cooler. So she's like, I'm gonna stand up with Jack, which meant that she didn't do anything. So cool, good move.
Other than like a nice scathing "get off my bridge" line.
Oh, she does get a sweet "get off my bridge" line. I mean, technically not her bridge. His bridge, he's in the back, but her bridge for now.
But
so
she's acting because she's on it. He's not.
Yeah. Sure. Second shift bridge. I get what's happening here. And so like all this is going on, and he's just like, we're gonna do a thing. And then the like, I don't know, F, L, M, whatever letter we're at in plot logic here, we get to catch up with Riker and Troy. And honestly, the better half of the show is the Riker and Troy on the Shrike ship bit of the show. It is very heartwarming. We get like a nice reunion, and we get like Riker being swarthy and smooth, and Troy being like, you're pretty swarthy and smooth. I don't know about this. She's like, also, they sent a gloop over to the house and he was also pretty swarthy and smooth. And Riker's like, oh yeah, how smooth? And she was like, smooth in the bed, but not so good at pancakes or something like that. And he was just like, ha 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 ha, which was fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely. These two have like the best chemistry. I mean, obviously they were
still
like
do.
They were like pretend dating for 12 years on TNG.
They still do.
They still have it.
And then they were talking about how it's like, oh, I can't wait to go back home. Except that they both hate the place that they live in.
Riker's like, I don't want to go home. Why did we go there?
But like neither of them had said anything to the other person until then. So they were both like, but I thought you loved the place.
She straight up calls out the fact that she did a bad job as a counselor, counseling the loss of their son with them. Because she's like, even a counselor sometimes needs to be reminded that like you can't skip steps in healing, and that's clearly what we did. Which is like awesome. That they like gave her that kind of a thing. She calls their house, she says their house is like a cult of like prairie hipsters built it or something. She talks about how the foyer is absurd and shit like that. And Riker's just like, what's with all the bird songs all the time? And she's just like, I can't stand it. Shut up. I just want a fucking Racticino at Starbucks or whatever. Space Bucks.
I think that they're gonna. I think after this, they're probably gonna like sell the house and like I don't know.
Just buy like
rent a room on a ship. Is that how you do that? Is that?
I mean, honestly,
they're gonna do basically,
Riker's still an acting captain.
Well, they're
he can
basically
just get a ship.
Yeah, they're basically gonna do the thing that like old people do when they retire and just live on a cruise ship for the rest of their life.
Yeah,
but for them, it's gonna be a spaceship.
Yeah. I mean, or they get like the RV equivalent and are just like bing banging around from planet to planet, visiting a bunch of absurd.
Or they take over Geordi's job, and then maybe Geordi does something with Legacies.
Yeah, maybe Geordi does something with Legacies. He's
a show that may never
make
exist.
Star Trek Legacies, you monsters. Why would you do this to me? Just do it already. If you don't know about this, just look up # Star Trek Legacy on Twitter and then be angry like me that it's not happening already. Also, yesterday, speaking of which, yesterday was First Contact Day, so happy belated First Contact Day, everybody. Go watch Star Trek First Contact. It holds up. It's still hilarious and amazing. I watched it last night, and we cracked into a special reserve.
One of the Star Trek wines.
Starfleet wines, and did all that, which was awesome. So, like, they get, like, their nice, like, moments or whatever, and then, like, one of the bird people comes to take Riker or Troy, whichever one, and Riker's just like, you're not gonna lay your hands on her, and then that dude just sprouts a sword from the chest. You know how you grow like that. But then dies.
Yeah.
And it's fucking Worf of all people. And also, we got to talk about, in this episode, every time Worf kills somebody, he just vaporizes them also. And he seems to be the only person thinking about this. Everybody else seems real loose goose with these corpses. And Worf's just walking around like, vaporized. Why are you leaving them around? fantastic.
Worf is practicing the double tap.
Yeah, he really is. He really is. So he like vaporizes them, and he's like, I'm here to save you guys, and then has like a little like a sensitivity moment with Troy, and Riker is just like, are you gonna save us, or is the torturing still torture? What is going on right now, bro? Get it together. And we get to meet, which it's interesting. I didn't think about it until this episode because they bring it up, but Troy had never met Raffi.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we get like a little Troy and Raffi meeting up for the first time kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then, so they like take over the Shrike ship, and then, because of Jack's plan or whatever, Data ends up mind battling Lore and like wins by giving Lore all of his memories, therefore assimilating Lore and Data into a single new person. I'm still gonna call it Data Lore, by the by.
Yeah.
Into the new Data Lore, but like there's a little bit of B4 in there, and there's a little bit of Sung.
Lorta.
No, that's already a guy.
Delore.
Lorca? Isn't that his name?
Oh,
from Discovery?
Lorca?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Orca with a L. So Data Lore is like, I win, I'm back, but also capable of doing jokes and such like this. So he like takes the ship back over immediately because obviously he's like a robot man and is better at it than the rest of us. And Jack is like, now that the tables have turned, and like twists the grenade top or presses the button or whatever that you think is going to blow up the grenade, and come to find out, not a grenade, secret tiny force field. Yeah. So him and Seven tiny force field up, while Data opens up the view screen of the Titan to space Vadic and the larger Birdman.
Yeah.
Because they're the only ones that are left. So they get spaced. We won the day. Vadic freezes
and
in
then,
space,
like,
and
shatters
then
into
bangs
a bunch of
against
pieces.
a thing and shatters into a bunch of pieces.
Which
and then whilst in a bunch of pieces,
wouldn't actually kill her.
No, not at all. Yeah, because she's gloop. But then, after they get the ship back,
as Vadic gets spaced, she's like, solids.
Yeah, it's great. It's
Very
fucking
good.
solids. So then after, like, we get the ship back, and she's been broken into bits, and the Shrike ship's all like akimbo with not having no people on it or whatever the heck. And so they just, 7 of 9 is just like, Lieutenant like tactical officer guy, blow that shit up, and he just fires like a bunch of photon torpedoes at that thing and just turns it into mist. So again, technically they could all come back. There could be like a little bit of gloop somewhere on the ship hidden still, so like, you know, be prepared for that or whatever. But so basically, like, our team got their ship back, and everybody seems okay, and like the bad Vadic and Shrike gloop specific, Vadic as a gloop and bird people, which were or were not gloops, they're all dead, probably. And now we're off to save the day. Jordy said that we have, like, a few hours?
Well, that makes sense, because the last time we checked, it said 36.
I understand that makes sense,
so
but
we've basically got 2 episodes to figure out what Jack's deal is, and then to wrap up this entire story.
I think next episode, save the day. Last episode, wrap it all up. Because they got some threads need trimming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that, like, the outfit's sewn together, but you gotta trim that shit up, dog. It's messy. But we also got at the end, so the like last 2 bits of the episode are, we get everybody sitting around the table in the Titan, right? All the like original crew, or TNG crew, sitting around the table of the Titan, being like, it's been so long since we sat around a table like this. Aren't we homies?
Yeah.
High fives all around, which was amazing. I may or may not have made a bunch of loud noises.
It was like a real cute reunion moment.
It was a fantastic reunion moment. And then the final episode, or the final bit, I should say, of the episode is when, Troy is like, listen, there's some darkness on this ship, and that shit is directly attached to Jack, so I'm gonna talk to him about that. And so she holds Jack's hand and is like, hey, Jack, there's something inside of you, isn't there? And he's just like, we don't need to.
And then she's like, is it a red door?
Is it the red door? And he's like,
yes.
oh, we don't really talk about the whispering red door in the mind or whatever. And she's like, we're gonna have to open that fucking door. And then like the camera approaches the door, end of episode. Real asshole way to end the episode. I'm just putting this out there.
Of course they had to end
But of course they're gonna end it that way. Real asshole way to end the episode. So
I mean, at least they ended it with the hand on the knob, as opposed to the door open and them like doing the non-reaction.
Yeah,
to
or
it,
the door
you know?
open, tiny scream or whatever. So we're gonna hopefully next episode. I mean, it would be absurd if we have a whole episode that doesn't resolve what was going on with those two holding hands in a room somewhere. But like next episode, we're gonna find out what's behind the scary door, guys. That's very exciting. I'm still prepared for it to be Borg stuff, right? Because like the Gloop recognized that it was something back there. Yeah. Right? Vatic knew that there was something in there, and there was like a scary door. I think she even mentioned a red door.
She did.
Right? But what the fuck does that mean?
Yeah, what significance does this red door have?
Yeah. Do we know about changelings having red doors inside their minds? I don't think so. And also, like, if he was, like, it's got to definitely be more than just, like, some changeling bullshit all up in there.
Probably. Well, they also, one of the things that we found out on the Shrike ship in this episode is that they, we know that they stole Picard's meat suit, old body.
Old meat body.
And they said that they removed part of the brain where his, like, syndrome was, like, housed
where
in.
like, the syndrome was
happening.
happening?
So it has something to do with that.
So whatever Picard's mystery illness was that Jack got is also accessing the Matrix or some bullshit like that. Boy, let me tell you what, if it's some sort of like bullshit Q thing, I'm gonna be real angry about that.
I would not be surprised.
But it might be, you never know, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean this was like a lot of like this episode was very much resolving the end of episode 7.
Yeah.
The story unit, the device. But it was still a really fun episode. Like everybody got like a good thing. We didn't get enough Shaw. Maybe get a little bit more Captain Shaw in there.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it was still fun. Shaw still got to give 7 like some looks. Jack got to smolder.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I feel like the best acted parts were, and I saw this thing online, somebody had said on Twitter that that it's absurd that we watched 12 years of Star Trek with one of the best, most expressive actors trapped behind a glittery visor.
Oh, yeah.
Because it, Geordi is, LeVar Burton is such a good actor.
Yeah, he is.
He really, shows the pain of, the pain of, of fearing that Data was going to be lost and such. Like, he did a great job portraying that. And obviously Brent Spiner is just, the most thunderous face controller. I mean, the way that he's able to portray Data and Lore distinctly and separately is...
Without cuts.
Yeah, genuinely terrifying.
Yeah.
So those were great. Obviously we got some good 7 stuff, more 7. We got we're getting I feel like we're getting less and less Jean-Luc Picard moments. But I think again, I think that supports my idea that Jean-Luc is going to die at the end. But I think that it's because there's a bunch that they have to cover. Mm-hmm. And we got a lot of early Jean-Luc. Now he's just Lucan about Jean-Ly. And so we got to get everybody else in there.
Yeah.
And the very, very well done moments between Troy and Riker, honestly kind of stole the show for me. That little back and forth with them was super heartwarming. It was super it showed it really made it feel like they were this couple that had been through a terrible time and had both coped with it in their own way and also maybe not in the most responsible or adult way. But that's all right. They're still alive and growing and whatever.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens next. Obviously, our intrepid crew is going to race off to the heart of the Federation to save the day on this, the most illustrious of First Contact days or whatever. Federation Day.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we'll see what that means.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, their ship is cloaked and they're in charge of it now, but also the whole fleet? All of the Starfleet will be there. And I mean, these guys are dope, but I don't know that they're immortal God King indestructible force field mind dope. So we'll see what fucking happens.
We'll see.
That being said, I am very prepared for the next episode to be we open the scary door, Jack is fully activated, they drop out of warp, and the Federation's we can see you through the thing. We know that you're right there, and Jack's just like mind take, and just mind takes like a whole planet or some shit. You know, like who knows what's going on in there? Who knows what's going on behind the scary door? I still think it might be some Borg shit. But if it's aromatics, I know that's not what it's pronounced, but it sounds so much like they're saying aromatic syndrome every time. But whatever. If his syndrome is like, it's just like a random syndrome that's affecting specifically him in a chaos way, like, whatever, dog.
Yeah.
I'm prepared for a little, which Spider-Man is the real Spider-Man between two Picards, Gloop Card and regular Picard. So that'll be exciting.
Yep.
And I'm prepared for Worf to do more fun Worf stuff, because I think the runaway success for this season has been like Worf.
Yeah.
The like surprise success. Like I've always loved Worf, but he is genuinely hilarious and like just an amazing character. Right at the end when they're all sitting around the table and everybody's like, I was thinking about you the whole time. I was thinking about you the whole time. Ha 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 ha. Old friends or whatever. And Worf's just like everybody's telling their story and Worf's just like, it's my turn. Every time I slaughtered somebody, I thought about sending you guys the heads of those that I slain, but I was told that's passive aggressive. You're just like, yeah, Worf is still Worf, still Worfing about. Good job, buddy. You've learned nothing.
No, he's learned a lot of things.
I guess he didn't send the heads. Yeah, small victories.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. Although in my mind, I can only imagine, especially because he was like either Section 31 or Black Ops or whatever the heck, just like an unmarked head in a box arriving at the front door of like Riker, just like, hey, Diana, did you order something from Space Amazon? Because this is a head and it's weird.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't know what that is. What should we do with it? And he's like, I don't know either. Return to sender? Motherfucker, who sent it? And he's just like, it's an unmarked box. I don't know. You know, because he was doing like secret spy stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, this was a really fun episode. There was a lot of good bits. It was really fun. Again, I think my favorite part was the Troy Riker reunion bit.
Yeah.
What about you? What was your favorite part?
Oh, jeez. I think that was probably one of my favorite parts. This was, like, overall a pretty well-rounded, like, good
It was.
episode,
Everybody got their bits, including the B characters, like the side characters.
Honestly,
who don't
my
have
favorite
names.
part is probably that the person that I thought that was gonna get murdered by Vatic got murdered.
Yeah. I mean, Vatic was good this whole episode also.
Not that I delighted in this character dying, but I was just like, oh, I
You're
guessed
like, I
correctly.
called it right.
How nice.
Boom. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty fun. The weird tension between the pilot LaForge and I gotta remember her first name. Pilot LaForge and Jack.
Oh yeah, that was fun
was real fun.
Yeah, we had a lot of like really fun moments in here.
Yeah,
so
this was a nice, well-rounded episode.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to pick just like one moment that was the best out of him.
Yeah,
just because they were all pretty good.
Yeah. It feels like we're wrapping up. I mean, we know there's only gonna be 10 episodes. Or at least that's what I've heard. So, I mean, I could be wrong, right?
Yeah.
But, like, what I've heard is that there's going to be 10 episodes, so we only have 2 more. And it's sad to see it go. I'm going to be so fucking angry. Let me tell you, if we don't get a bloody Star Trek Legacy announcement before the end of Picard Season 3. Because, Shaw and Seven deserve to be the front runners of a Star Trek show called Star Trek Legacy, and Terry Matalas should get whatever he wants to make whatever Star Trek he wants. Full stop. Like, if Paramount had any sense whatsoever about what they are doing, and I mean, let's be perfectly real. Maybe. But if they had any sense at all, they would just give Terry Matalas money. Just like get a guy with a briefcase and a handcuff to it and just keep sending that guy money for the next Star Trek. It doesn't matter. Yeah. This season of Picard is so just genuinely fucking bonkers good. Man, it so blows out of the water the last 2 seasons of Picard.
Yeah.
And also, we haven't seen Janeway yet, and I am very prepared for a secret Janeway cameo. Mm-hmm. So
we might have one.
What's up? See. We might have one. Who knows what's going to happen next? Maybe it was all just a hologram episode.
There's also that.
And I have to scream forever. You're just going to hear a forever constant single tone scream. It's coming from me if that's what happens. So Prepare yourself for that noise. But yeah. So what was your favorite part of this episode? What did you think of the end of Vadic? I feel like I feel like it's not over yet, but like we have 2 episodes. How can it not be over yet?
I feel like Vadic is going to be back, but not in this series.
Maybe in Star Trek Legacy? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just real angry about this. Yesterday was the announce day. No announce.
Yeah.
Bad.
Very
Somebody
surprising.
from Paramount, come here, put your hand out so I can slap it.
It's,
Get your hand slapped.
That's poor communications and PR planning right there.
I don't even know if that's what. I think it's just like 3 idiots in a trench coat trying to buy an adult ticket for a movie.
No, it's poor planning. Poor planning.
Yeah, especially after announcing new stuff like 3 days before.
Yeah.
Guys, get your whole booties together. But yeah, this was fun. What were your favorite parts? What did you think? How did you think about Vadic's ending? What do you think's going on behind the scary door in Jack's mind? Did you like Will and Troy's house? I mean, I like their house, but I also live in the woods in a cabin, so I'm a bit biased.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call myself a prairie hipster. But I might have a disturbing amount of records.
So prairie hipster.
So
yeah.
maybe not prairie. Redwoods hipster.
Forest hipster.
Forest hipster.
Yeah.
Specifically spooky forest. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, spooky forest hipster.
Yeah.
So I'll accept that burn. But yeah, so what did you think about all of that kind of stuff? Comment below in the dibbly-doo. And while you're at it, like this video, subscribe to the channel, do whatever bell shenanigans are required to participate in this nightmare. And yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. I've been John Norgrove. This has been Wife. And this has been Trek Jive, Star Trek Picard Season 3, Episode 8, Surrender. It was awesome. We'll catch you guys next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.